Hi, I'm Marc Seal, and today I want to teach you something very important, and that is being able to find the notes on the neck. The musical alphabet is A through G and back to A. So effectively the notes we have are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc., etc. We have to know our open string names. Our sixth string, the biggest string. When we play that string open, that's an E. 5 is A, 4 is D, 3 is G, 2 is B, and 1 is E again. And there's two sets of rules we need to know. First off, we need to know what a whole step is. A whole step is 2 frets. A half step is 1 fret. So from 5 to 6 would be a half step. 5 to 7 would be a whole step. And from one note to the next, we always have a whole step, or 2 frets, with 2 exceptions. The exceptions are B to C and E to F. When I go from B to C, it's only a half step. And when I go from E to F, it's also only a half step. Everything else is whole steps. Also, if we take a note and we raise it a half step, that's called sharping the note. If we lower a note a half step or 1 fret, that's called a flat. So the way we're going to practice this is we're going to put our finger behind the nut on the 5th string. We'll start with our open A string. We say A. From A, we go up a whole step because A to B is a whole step. So 2 frets, 1, 2. So the second fret's now our B. B to C is one of our exceptions. So our next note would be a half step up, would be C. Then a whole step to D, whole step to E. E is our other exception, so we go a half step to F, whole step to G, and then a whole step back to A, and that puts us at the 12th fret. Notice we started with an A, and we got to the 12th fret, it was an A again because that's where the neck starts over. There's a total of 12 different notes on the guitar, counting the sharps and the flats. So if I count every note on the A string, I would start with A, go up a half step. That's going to be A sharp because I'm taking A and I'm going higher a half step. The next note would be B, but I can also go down a half step, and it's going to be the same note as A sharp, but we would call that a B flat. Those are known as enharmonics. It's the same note with a different name, and depending upon which key you're in, which we'll talk about down the road, you'll know which note to call it. But A sharp and B flat are going to be the same note. From B to C, then I have C sharp or D flat. Then D, D sharp, E flat, have E, F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat, and back up to A. And so one of the ways you can practice this is just counting all the notes straight up on each string. So if I start on the 3rd string, for example, I start with a G, whole step to A, whole step to B, half step to C, whole step to D, whole step to E, half step to F, whole step back to G at the 12th fret, or I can try all the accidentals. Maybe go up counting all the sharp notes and then go back doing all the flat notes. So you might try it like this. G, whole step to A, and then go flat, A flat. Go to B, B flat. Go to C, C flat, etc. Or try the sharps, G up to G sharp, or A up to A sharp. And you'll get comfortable with it over time. The way I find it to be most successful is if you take 20 notes a day that you find randomly by just throwing your hand on the guitar and saying, okay, I'm on the 4th string D, D, whole step E, half step F, whole step G. That's a G sharp or an A flat. If you find 20 notes like that a day, you'll be really successful. Lastly, I would strongly recommend you memorize the natural notes on the 6th string and the 5th string. Natural notes are any note that doesn't have a sharp or a flat attached to it, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I hope that helps you out. Knowing your notes is very important. If you have any other questions or comments, you can check out my website at marcseal.com, and I'll see you back here soon.